Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today we are honored once again by the presence of the master watchmaker we work with, Hans. How are you, buddy?
Very well. How about you? I'm very happy to be here, by the way.
Me too. I just got back like 7 awesome repairs.
Fantastic.
Can't go wrong. But yeah, guys, I know we try and do this a little bit more often now. But remember, every minute he spends here with me and us is a minute he is not repairing your watches. So
it's a trade-off.
We have to be diligent, right?
Yes, sure.
And on that note, guys, go check out delraywatch.com. We buy, sell, and service watches. Fill out the service request form, if anything, and we will get back to you ASAP.
Super.
So, Hansi, I have some more questions from the audience here. Mostly watchmaking questions, and we want to get your unique perspective.
On me. Yeah.
Okay? So I guess we'll just start.
Let's do it, yeah.
All right. What are some of the main differences between an expensive watch and a more inexpensive watch with the same movement? So to give you an idea, what is the difference between, an IWC Portofino with a 2892 or SW300 and a Hamilton with the same thing? The movements are obviously the same, maybe a little decoration, but what is the rest,
Look, it is fairly simple. Once the manufacturers start using the exact same mechanism, the only way they can differentiate themselves is by the case. By the case, the materials they use for the hands, quality, like sapphire crystals is a no-brainer. Everybody should use sapphire. Yeah. Anybody who still uses a mineral crystal, you should not buy the watch.
And I think,
it doesn't even exist no more, I guess. I don't know.
It does in the super, entry level.
Those things that don't never work on
it. $100 Seikos.
Yeah.
But no, a Hamilton $500 has sapphire.
Yeah. So the difference is, a good example is, for example, the Breitling. Breitling, for many, many years, used ETA movements, and they still use them up to date, but they always made a difference in the quality of the bracelets and the quality of the really high quality cases. I always liked the Breitling product because of the outside also, and of course you could compare it then with a Longines who has Longines is probably a bad example because they're fairly decent, but the Oris, it's also, nowadays it's better too.
Nowadays, but I
in
remember
the past there was huge differences, where Breitling already had great cases then and the Oris product was just cheap, but still the same movement. That was the only difference.
So like the dial printing, the hands, the cases, there is a difference.
There is definitely a difference.
Okay, perfect. Well, I hope that answers your question, guys. Ooh, this is one of my personal favorites. I like this question. So, what are the most difficult complications, in your opinion, to work on? Because the reason I like this question is I had a tourbillon I gave you, 3 weeks ago.
Correct.
And I said, Hans, how long? It's a tourbillon. He said, bullshit.
Simple
it's a simple tourbillon doesn't make it more difficult.
Double-edged sword tourbillons falls actually in that thing. I prefer to do a repeater than a tourbillon which has a 3-axis tourbillon, a flying tourbillon.
Yeah, but those
because
never exist.
The thing is, the manufacturers, they don't supply the actual tools with it. In order to work on a 3-axis, you need cage holders, tourbillon cage holders in order to work on it. Because the tourbillon itself is fairly simple. It's like 10, 15 parts, by itself. It's really, really simple. But you cannot just hold it with your hands or,
you need the
generic
clamp or something.
Exactly. It needs the actual movement holder from the manufacturer, and that is extremely frustrating, and it becomes a little bit of a headache. But that's the most complicated part, is to achieve actual. Or sometimes, in my case, I make tools for those purposes.
Yeah, but that becomes extremely expensive.
Exactly, but
But if you have to, if money
you
is
can't
no
just
longer...
not. Yeah, there's no shortcut.
So I guess what is the most? Are you talking repeaters, perpetual calendars?
That's nice. Yeah,
Foudroyants. What is the hardest thing I can put on your bench?
I guess it would be a tourbillon where I don't have the right tools.
Okay, let's pretend you have the tools.
Okay.
Well, you have everything you need.
All right, I think we're in that level of watchmaking when repeaters have additional function on top of it, for example, really high end. Then it becomes like to the point where there's also, by the way, there's also watches I would reject.
Oh,
because
really?
I'm honest enough not to go into certain level
That you're not
absolutely. That's the key when you're a seasoned watchmaker. When you're a youngster and you want to conquer the world and you just lie to everybody, I can do anything. At that point, you have to be very careful.
Because what happens when you break it?
Not only that, it's just not ethically correct.
No, for
you
sure.
You need to know your limits.
So you'd say repeater, multifunction repeater.
Right. There we go. Yeah.
And, here's another thing. Chronographs are so common. 7750s, Dupuis de Prat modules. But I've actually been told by you and many other watchmakers that actually a chronograph is a fairly complicated mechanism.
It certainly is, because there's so many different levels as well. If you take, for example, the El Primero, which is already a really high quality chronograph with many, many parts, and then they came out. Breitling has the P01 has already a decent engineering behind it. The 7050 is a child's play.
Yeah, well, compared to those,
right.
For sure. Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna like this one.
Oh God!
What is the one movement that you hate to work on? The one movement that if I call you and I bring it on your bench, you're gonna be cursing my name all night.
That's actually a great question.
And it doesn't have to be difficult. It's just something you hate.
Yes. But there is no such thing, actually, like a particular brand or a particular movement. Obviously, everybody of your customers, of your viewers know that I hate plastic parts and I would never touch any watch with a plastic part in it. But it's poor engineering. Anything which is poorly engineered, that drives me bananas. It doesn't necessarily be a certain brand, a certain caliber, whatever. It is poorly, like the A Shield 5009.
I actually got a movement name out of him. A Shield 5009. It's an alarm, right?
That's right. And that's horrible because the actual hammer which makes the alarm breaks the escape wheel. That's great engineering, my friend. I write, if you ever gift it to me, I take the Freitodpille, the suicide pill, man. I will never touch that no more.
Well, dude, there is at one point I did give it to you.
I know.
And we had to repair it like 7 times.
Because the customer lets the alarm run and the hammer breaks the escape wheel.
Well, I don't remember the exact reason, because this was like 3 years ago.
They're in, what is that fancy brand which now is in China? Actually, Maurice Lacroix. They use the A-Shield.
Well, but which is funny because you also love Maurice Lacroix generally.
I love it. But this is the only particular, poor engineering. Poor engineering drives me bananas.
Here's a more personal question.
Okay.
If you weren't a watchmaker, okay, if Hans never went to watchmaking school, what would you be?
Do you know that? Maybe I never
You told
went
me
to watchmaking school.
You never, what? Excuse me? Just give me back my repairs.
No, but what does it say here?
It says, if you weren't a watchmaker, what would you be?
Funny enough, I worked in rescue before.
Rescue?
EMT.
Oh, EMT. Okay, got it.
Yeah. First responders. And I love that part of life. I did that for 2 years in my life. And it's the most gratifying thing you can do when you save somebody's life.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, it is quite a...
So what's harder, like open heart surgery or watchmaking?
Well, we didn't, I did that in the 1980s.
You don't admit
right,
on camera.
But it was just some gratifying. I'm still blessed from that day, from those days when I saved lives.
If I remember correctly, so that's the noble answer. He likes to save lives. But wasn't there a story where you told me you were actually pursuing a different career and you lost your job and then you ended up as a watchmaker in the second?
Yes, we will not go to that.
Watchmaking was his second choice.
Yes.
He just happens to be good at it. All right. Here's one which I know the answer to, but be honest.
Yes.
Do you ever lose patience when working on watches?
Very interesting question again, and I thank you for that. That actually ties in with the movement I hate. The only time I lose patience is when there's poor engineering present, you know. And in watchmaking school, we had a thing where once every New Year's, we went out in the open, out of the watchmaking school, and we blew up Cuckoo clocks.
You blew up Cuckoo clocks?
I think the Cuckoo clock stands for An ill-conceived invention from a sick mind.
An ill-conceived invention from a sick mind. You were actually telling me the other day that Cuckoo clocks are actually complete turds. Like they're
Absolute
just
poor quality, and the greatest thing about Cuckoo clocks is they have those windpipes in them with which go coo coo coo. And the thing is, they fill really well with gunpowder. So when you fill that up and you drink 2-3 bottles of schnapps, then you just
what an It's a good Friday night.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Guys, if you have any Cuckoo clocks to repair, Hans
Suicide
would be
bill.
more than happy.
Suicide bill.
Jesus. Guys, that's it for today. It's actually super busy here today. Hans, well, we've got to go through a few estimates and a few more of that stuff. But guys, thank you so much for your questions. We appreciate all your support. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. And the more thumbs up and the more nice comments you guys write, the sooner we will get Hans back on the show.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you for having me. It was awesome. And I love your audience. They're very well educated and they seem to enjoy it.
Too educated. Too educated for their own good sometimes. Guys, thank you so much and take care.